3 people built Reddit. One of them is a billionaire. One of them is a CEO. One of them is dead at 26. And you're using the thing they made right now to decide if this video is worth watching. It is. But first, 2 college kids, $12,000 and 20 days of coding that accidentally created the front page of the internet and then spent 19 years trying to figure out how to make money from it. They figured it out. You're not gonna like how. It's 2005. Steve Huffman is 22. Alexis Ohanian is 21. They're seniors at the University of Virginia, and they apply to Y Combinator with a pitch for a mobile food ordering app. Paul Graham looks at it and says, no. Actually, no. He says what you really need to build is the front page of the internet, a place where people submit links and other people vote on them. Ohanian later recalls the exact moment. Yes, we need to do exactly this, but for what people want to share. Graham gives them $12,000. They move into a tiny sublet at 72 Bristol Road, Medford, Massachusetts. Air mattresses, ramen. And Huffman codes the entire first version of Reddit in about 20 days. One night after dinner, he just puts it live. That's it. Reddit.com is on the internet. It's June 23rd, 2005. They have 0 users. So they do what any rational founders would do. They create dozens of fake accounts and submit links to themselves to make the site look busy. This was a mistake. Actually, no, it worked perfectly. By December, they have 12,000 daily visitors. Paul Graham tells The Guardian that Reddit is like an RSS feed for the whole web and that he never reads any other news site. They love that. Meanwhile, Google and blogs dominate the web. MySpace and Facebook are still figuring themselves out. Dig exists, but barely. Reddit fills a gap nobody realized was there. A live front page curated by strangers. That's the whole product. Then Aaron Swartz shows up. Swartz is 18. He helped invent RSS when he was 14. His tiny company Infogami merges with Reddit in late 2005, making him something like a third co-founder. He rewrites the back end in Python. He argues with Huffman about everything, every single time. This becomes a pattern. Also, they finally add comments in December 2005. Which turns Reddit from a link dump into an actual community. People start arguing about things, and then arguing about the arguing. Reddit is now a website, but nobody's getting rich. The team is 4 people. The site looks like a spreadsheet that hates you, and in the background, the web is shifting. Dig launched in 2004 and is the cool kid. MySpace is peaking. Facebook is still just for college students. Reddit is the quiet one in the corner, growing slowly, doing its thing. October 2006, Condé Nast, the company that publishes Vogue and The New Yorker, buys Reddit. 4 employees, less than $20 million. The founders get health insurance for the first time. They also get a boss, corporate oversight, meetings about meetings. This was a mistake. Not immediately, but eventually. January 2007, Aaron Swartz gets fired. He's 19. Huffman says he was pulling the project in too many directions. Swartz walks away. He goes on to co-found Demand Progress, campaign for open data, fight for information to be free. He believes knowledge belongs to everyone. Remember that. January 2008. Reddit makes a decision that accidentally changes the internet. They let any user create a subreddit. Before this, only admins could make communities. Now anyone can build one. Funny, gaming, politics, anything. The site's scope multiplies overnight. Meanwhile, Dig, Reddit's bigger, shinier rival, redesigns their website in 2010. Users hate it. They all move to Reddit. Millions of them. Reddit gains an entire generation of users because a competitor had one bad afternoon. This was someone else's mistake. Reddit benefits anyway. Every time. October 2009. Both founders leave. Huffman goes to build a travel site. Ohanian starts a venture fund. The thing they built at 21 now belongs to people who didn't make it. Reddit spins out from Condé Nast in 2011 and starts hiring its own leadership. They launch Reddit Gold at $3.99 a month, their first attempt at making money. It makes almost nothing, obviously. October 2011, Anderson Cooper goes on CNN and says, Reddit has a child exploitation problem. He's talking about the subreddit jailbait. 24,000 subscribers sharing borderline content of minors. Reddit bans it overnight. This is the first time Reddit breaks its own philosophy. Don't interfere. Let the users decide. Let the votes sort it out. Except now cable news is involved and the votes aren't sorting anything. Moderators are furious. Some blank out their subreddits in protest. This also becomes a pattern. January 2012. Reddit joins the SOPA blackout. For 12 hours, the entire site goes dark to protest anti-piracy legislation in Congress. Thousands of other sites join. The bills die. A website that got famous for pirated content just helped kill a censorship law. That tracks. August 29, 2012. The President of the United States logs on to Reddit and types, "I am Barack Obama AMA. Ask me anything." 8 million page views. The site crashes. Obama answers 10 questions from 230,000 submissions. The staff is, quote, literally shaking. A sitting president doing a Q&A on the same website that had a child exploitation scandal 11 months ago. That's Reddit. January 11th, 2013. Aaron Swartz is found dead in his Brooklyn apartment. He was 26. 2 years earlier, he had downloaded millions of academic articles from JSTOR through MIT's network. He believed research papers funded by the public should be available to the public. The Department of Justice charged him with 13 felonies. He faced 35 years in prison and $1 million in fines. For downloading PDFs, he killed himself while the case was still open. The kid who helped build Reddit at 18, who invented RSS at 14, who believed information should be free, gone. The internet mourns. Reddit mourns loudest. Congress introduces Aaron's Law to reform the computer fraud statute that prosecuted him. It doesn't pass. Of course it doesn't. Reddit keeps going, because it always does. Then, in April 2013, 2 bombs go off at the Boston Marathon. Reddit decides to solve the case. Thousands of users flood the subreddit, find Boston bombers, and start circling faces in crowd photos. They identify a suspect. They're wrong. The person they accuse is a missing college student named Sunil Tripathi, who was already dead. His family gets death threats. The Atlantic writes, "This is vigilantism," and warns Reddit that due process exists for a reason. The FBI rushes to release the actual suspect's photos, partly because Reddit's witch hunt is spiraling. Reddit's general manager later posts a public apology. The front page of the internet just became a mob. November 2014. Ellen Pao becomes interim CEO. She's brought in to fix Reddit's harassment problem. Everyone knows the site has one. Hate communities are growing, advertisers are nervous. The Southern Poverty Law Center publicly calls Reddit the worst cesspool on the internet. Huffman later admits that stung. June 10, 2015. Pao bans 5 hate subreddits, including the subreddit Fat People Hate, 151,000 subscribers. Reddit erupts. 210,000 people sign a petition demanding her removal. Then someone fires Victoria Taylor, the beloved community manager who organized every celebrity AMA, and nobody explains why. The moderator revolt goes nuclear. Thousands of subreddits shut down. Pao resigns. Her last post says, "Everyone attacked on Reddit is just another person, just another human." July 10th, 2015. Steve Huffman comes back as CEO. He's 31. He texts Sam Altman at 2 a.m. begging for help to save the site. The guy who built Reddit in 20 days at 22 has to rescue it from the thing it became. He later admits, "I thought this time Reddit might not survive." It survives. Of course it does. Reddit blows up, then bounces back bigger. Every single time. Huffman once told a conference audience, "I spent my formative years as a young troll on the internet." The troll is now running a billion-dollar company, and the company has a new problem. In 2016, a subreddit called _Donald becomes the internet's loudest megaphone for Trump's presidential campaign. Memes, rallies, conspiracy theories, all of it. It dominates Reddit's front page through pure upvote volume. Huffman hates it. In November 2016, he secretly edits users' comments on the subreddit, replacing his own name with the names of _Donald's moderators. The CEO of Reddit is trolling his own users. He gets caught. He apologizes. He admits it was a pretty horrible thing to do. Reddit quarantines the subreddit in 2019 and bans it in 2020. But by then, the damage is done. Reddit helped build a political movement, whether it wanted to or not. Sound familiar? Also, here's something nobody tells you. Half the vocabulary you use online came from Reddit. Based. Cope. Touchgrass. The phrase username checks out. The idea that a repost deserves public shaming. The upvote, downvote system that every platform from YouTube to Twitter has copied in some form. Reddit didn't just build communities. It built the language the internet speaks. You've been affected whether you know it or not. By 2019, Reddit has 330 million monthly active users. By 2021, 52 million daily. The site that started with 12,000 visitors now has more daily users than most countries have people. January 27th, 2021. A subreddit called Wall Street Bets decides to buy GameStop stock, not because it's a good investment, because it's funny, and because hedge funds are shorting it, and Reddit does not like hedge funds. GameStop goes from $19 to $347 in 3 weeks, 1,700%. Hedge funds lose billions. Congress holds hearings. The SEC opens inquiries. CNBC anchors look personally offended. A forum of people who call each other degenerates just broke the stock market. That's Reddit. June 2023. Huffman announces Reddit will charge for API access. Third-party apps will now cost $20 million a year to operate. 6,000 subreddits go dark in the biggest protest in the site's history. Huffman's internal memo leaks. Not seen any significant revenue impact so far. Like all blow-ups, this will pass. It passes. The apps die. The mods are furious. The cycle continues. It always does. February 2024. Google agrees to pay Reddit $60 million a year for its content. Every comment, every argument about whether a hot dog is a sandwich, every confession in subreddit, TIFU, Google is feeding it to AI models. Your shitposts are training artificial intelligence. That probably means something. March 21st, 2024. Reddit goes public on the New York Stock Exchange. Ticker RDDT. 22 million shares at $34 each. Valuation, roughly $10 billion. Steve Huffman rings the opening bell. The company that started with $12,000 from Y Combinator is now worth $10 billion. Alexis Ohanian is not on the board. He resigned in 2020. He's now worth over $1 billion. He runs a venture fund and champions parental leave. Q4 2024. Reddit reports its first ever profit. $427 million in quarterly revenue. 101 million daily active users. After 19 years, the site finally makes money. The stock drops because growth was only 39%. Investors wanted 40%. Of course they did. So, 3 people built Reddit in a tiny apartment with $12,000 and 20 days of code. One of them became a billionaire running a venture fund. One of them became CEO of a $10 billion company. One of them downloaded academic papers because he believed they should be free, and the government charged him with 35 years in prison, and he died alone in a Brooklyn apartment at 26. The site they built now has over 2 billion monthly visits. It crashed when the president showed up. It broke the stock market by accident. It helped kill a bill in Congress and created the format every celebrity now uses to talk to fans. Google pays millions for its data. It has been dying since 2011. It's still here, I guess.